the DFDs, what is data flow diagram that we are discussing in the previous lecture. Then we are discussing about previous lecture the Petri nets. We are discussing about the Petri nets in the previous lecture. Then we are discussing about the finite state machine. So these all are we are discussing in the operational specification in the previous lecture. Now today we are talking about the descriptive specification. What is the descriptive specification? What are the tools when we have described or descriptive specifications are there in terms of designing a model, in terms of designing a product? So the descriptive specification. The descriptive specification try to describe the desired properties of a system rather than its desired behavior. In terms of descriptive specification, we are going to describe about the properties of our system, not whose behavior. What to do that we have designing, but not how to do. We are describing about the properties of a system rather than its desired behavior. So in this section, we are going to start a short review of descriptive specification notation and with the use of semi-formal and widely used model. In this complete descriptive specification, we are talking about the short descriptive specification models or notations. What are the different types of descriptive specification notations? By using of that notation, we have to design our product. So there is a natural way of specifying system properties precising is through the use of mathematical formulas. Whenever we have to design our descriptive notation, in that descriptive notation, we are always used for a mathematical formulas to design our notation. Now, let's one by one we will approach. There are different types of models in the descriptive specification designing. So they are the first one we're talking about the entity relationship diagram, ER diagram. As you all aware about what is the entity relationship diagram. So in the previous lecture, we are discussing about the data flow diagrams. In the previous lecture, we are discussing about the data flow diagram. In the data flow diagram, we have a useful notation of the operational specification that we use to access how our the flow of data is going. So that all we have described in data flow diagram. Like there are some tools, the tools that we have used to develop a data flow diagram. That tools also discussed in the previous lecture. So to understand the operation specification is a logical structure of a data. Okay, the operation specification is what? The operation specification is a logical structure of our data where we used to define the logic, how the flow is going, how we can format the finite state machine, how we can use the Petri nets to design a logical base. But on the other hand, in the entity relationship diagram, so in this descriptive specification with the entity relationship model, a widely known and adopted notation for describing the relation among the data of an information. Very one of the most widely used notation for describing a relation between the data and the information, or there is a relation between a data. So how we can relate a data, that relation that we describe in this entity relationship diagram. In this entity relationship diagram or ERD model was motivated by the need for a conceptual model of data suitable for specifying user view and logical requirement in information systems, and more generally in the application that are centered around large collection of interrelated data. When we're talking about the ER diagram or entity relationship model, this ER diagram is used to specify the user view and the logical requirement where the application is used to collect interrelated data. That interrelated data, by the use of the interrelated data, we have to develop our entity relationship model or the ER model. Like in the ER model is based on the three primitive concepts, that is the entity, relation, and the attributes. They are the three primitive concepts when we design a entity relationship diagram. They are entities, they are relation, and the attributes. Now, look at the diagram. Here it is an ER diagram describing a relationship between the student and classes. That is one of the example that we have taken. How the ER diagram is looks like and how we can create a relation between the two attributes or the two entities. So look at the diagram. This ER diagram that describes the entities of the student and the class with relationship is enrolled in. There are two entities. Student is one of the entity and the class is another entity. And there is a relation which is known as the enroll in relation that may be hold between a student and a class. That relation between hold of the two entities between the student and a class. So an entity is represented by in a box. An entity that we have represented by a box stands for the collection of atoms that can share common properties. That student and the class, these are the two entities. The two entities we have described in our box. The attributes of that entity is in the open box. And the diamond shape is used for preparing a relation between the two entities. In our example, we are having a student. The student is an entity. And the student is used to collect the individual information of the student, like their attributes are name, their age, and their sex. That is name of student, the age of student, and what is the gender of student. That all information of the student that we have collected in that entity student. And there is another entity which is known as a class, where we have to collect the information of subject, the course ID, and the maximum enrollment. And the maximum enrollment. Where in the class we have to collect the attributes like subject, what is the subject in that student is of, what is the course ID, that is the subject ID is there, and how many number of students enroll for that class. So these two relation, the student and class, these are the two entities, and we have to make a relation between the two entities by the enrolled in relation. The name of the relation is what? The enrolled. The name of the relation is enrolled in. By using the enrolled in relation, we have to make a relation between the two entities. But unfortunately, the ER diagram has not been standardized. Whatever the ER diagram that we have discussing, this ER diagram is not standardized. This means that there is no official or universal recognition of the notation, but many variations exist in practice. So the model ER diagram has not any standardized. There is no standard format that we have to draw the design diagram like this. No, there is no such kind of official recognition or there is no version notation is there. But the variation exists in patterns definitely. There is a relation between the two entities is variation between the other examples also. Some language or entity relation diagram languages allow relation between n arrays. N arrays. N arrays means so many relations, one entity having the so many relations or so many relations having the one entity or many to many relationships are there. So apart from that, there are the four different types of relations is there. That is one to one to many to one, and many to many relations. So look at the diagram. We will describe the diagram here. But most entity relationship language allow relations to be a partial. That is, not every element in the related entities relation. Definitely, there is no mandatory that every entity is having relation between the other entity. Sometimes it may be a non-entity relationship is also there. When we specify requirement, we would like to be able to state more general and complex kind of constraint of our data that might be characterized. In this entity relationship diagram, look at the diagram now. That is A is related with the B, that is the bidirectional arrow, which is shown as there is a one-to-one relation between A and B. Second one, there is a relation between A to B, but the arrow is incoming to A, which means that there is one to many relation. Means A is related with the many entities in the B. That is one to many relation. And there is a relation between A with B where there is an outgoing arrow, which shows that it is many to one relation. Means the B is one entity and that entity is having relation with the many other entities. That is many to one. And the last one is many to many. There is no relation, there is no arrow between the two entities. So there is a direct straight line is there, which shows the many to many. So this is all about that we are talking about the ER diagram, the entity relationship diagram. Now the next one that we're talking about, the second is logic specification. That is very simple. That's why I'm telling you in the form of presentation. That is the second type. The first one is the entity relationship. The second one is the logic specification. In the logic specification, there is used the first order theory, FOT. In the logic specification used the first order theory is an expression which is involving the variable, the numerical constant, the function, the predicates, and the parentheses. In the logic specification, we have used these all types of expressions. That is, variable is there, numerical constant is there, functions are there, predicates there, parentheses are there. So these are all that we are discussing in this logical specification. So the logical specification is used, the relation like mathematical algebraic relation are there, greater than, less than, equal to, congruence. These are all the relation that we used in logical specification. So here we can end up of this descriptive specification. Okay, this is how we end up with the descriptive specification.